never tasting. But now Nightweaver's juicy plot has led to such delicious outcomes. Come here, treat. This world holds such delectable delicacies, but you... Oh, you are exquisite.
Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Yeah.
Enter, mortal. Lives such as yours are too short to stand on hesitancy. Know that you stand in the presence of the Divine, Lord of all that surrounds you, and true-born heir to the one true King's throne. You may not be of the Fae, yet you reap the benefits of this kingdom with every breath. Know, strange one, that these lands and their people draw their life from my own, and shall do so eternally. For none have stood against me and lived. It is my hallowed duty to rule and watch over my subjects, just as it is the duty of my subjects to serve. Now that we share this understanding, I will accept your tribute as one who serves. If you shall not offer tribute as one who serves, then you shall die as one who does not. This home shall be your grave!
That was rough. How do you like that, huh? Hell yeah!
They called me crazy. Who's crazy now?
Feast on things, bastard! Kill him! Kill them all!
Can't escape my aim.
Yeah.
Welcome, mortal, to the court of Faelin, benevolent and all-knowing. I am the slayer of the one true king, and ruler of all Fae. Be glad, mortal, for few are given the pleasure of such appointments. You are not Fae, yet you do not bear the cheerless apathy of the drow. You are something new, I should wager. Yes? Tell us, stranger, what are you? Is that so? Well, I would hate to impede your pursuit of such an optimistic ideal. What a lark this is! Usually look. All over
Yeah, you ain't so bad.
Beware, creature, for you stand in the presence of Faerin, the Almighty. We are the slayer of the one true king, conqueror of all we survey. In my presence, all must tremble and fall. But you, aren't you a strange and pathetic little creature? I'm afraid you have stumbled into the wrong door, little mouse. Yet, curiosity stays my hand a moment. What are you? Some sort of misshapen vermin? Ah, now that is interesting. Come, vermin, learn what it means to be almighty. A pity. This is not as interesting as I'd always think.
That was nuts. At last, a fresh catch. Like that, huh? How's that, huh? So tough. Yeah, you ain't so bad.
My liege demands pain and punishment, and I deliver. Only torture will know your pride. Such torture, such delight. They get horrified. Your torture!
It's over.
Puny footsteps. The putrid smell of mortality. Another traitor. Or a wayward child in need of suckling. Tell me, who dares? Who dares disturb the one true king's solitude? Speak, or lose your tongue. A mouse scratching at the foot of a god and king. You would be dead already were your feeble delusions of grandeur not faintly amusing. This will be your one and only warning, to show your king due respect. I shall not repeat myself, nor suffer fools. I have killed insects like you for less. My packs are adorned with such humorists. Putrid, disgusting, traitorous mortals! Two options. Two paths. Such is your crossroads. If you wish to live, prove your loyalty by slaying the duplicitous lesser goddess, Nightweaver. Or raise your pathetic hand against me, and your mortal suffering ends here and now. Which will it be? So be it! Make your peace, filthy mortal! Come! I shall not sully my throne with your unworthy blood! In my rain of blood, a lost whisper in the echo of eternity. Return to the nothingness from whence you came!
Another segment. I should get this back to the Keeper. That's over.
My lucky day. That's right. You scrapped with the wrong bitch. the wrong gal. Whew.
Your timing is fortuitous, cub. It's been long since I've seen one of your kind. But then, what is time to a god? The things I think are spread over millennia, and our time here is short. It is your thoughts which concern us. Do you think yourself clever, cub? I distrust modesty. It is a veil for hunger. Let me guess. You're here on a quest. Surprise, surprise. The river's path is fluid and yet irresistible. Obstacles serve to make it grow stronger and clearer of purpose, but somehow no wiser. Walk with me, cub. I will explain. The last of your kind left me for dead. That is when they found me and offered me their enlightenment. Blind was I until they opened my eye to the lies of permanence. Oh, the feeble empress craves her fruit, tries to guzzle immortality. But all things die, cub. Even gods. Theirs is mastery of death, the all that is nothing. And so I offer the choice they offered, cub. Return to the ash from which we all came, or break the yoke of balance and become eternal. But the bridge between ego and soul cannot be crossed without paying a toll. Here bleeds the lie. Here mules the old order. Kill it. Kill the dough, and we shall seal our pact. Radiation of this pest. This lie. Coward! You can't run from destiny! Radiation of this pest. This lie.
so tough. Yeah, you ain't so bad.
You have that beast? Lydusa's precious thing? Give it to me.
Why am I still Shadow Split? I should be whole. I should be me. Why is it not enough? The screams. My screams. It will never end. Not until every beast is dead and gone. Crushed and dead! Every other beast! Betrayed again and again! The emptiness! Lydusa didn't deserve this! Leave Lydusa alone! He was my everything!
I can't believe it. I'm alive. I'm alive.
You have arrived in the core. Use the console there to shut it down. Once complete, I can gain access and save Nerud. Nonetheless, you were successful, and I now have access to the core. I and all the Drasir are in your debt.
Is it over? Oh, yeah! Yeah, you ain't so bad.
The soul sparks. Give them to me. Lifetimes have I waited. Now, I can rest knowing that everything left of my people is preserved for eternity. I have created an ark to preserve what is left of the Drazir. Though all of Nirud will cease, my ark will endure, and these sparks will join the consciousness of the countless others within. Our fate is inevitable. The Custodian will return Nirud to Alepsis-Taura. It will not emerge a second time. All that remains is yourself. Tell me, do you believe in free will? Perhaps. Not so the Drazir. I once believed in free will. The Ambit Ember has since shown me the fate of all things. For the Drazir, free will was an illusion. All of our achievements pointed us here, to Alepsis-Taura. Our every action since was inevitable. Yet I did not foresee you. Or perhaps I chose not to. I would invite you to the Ark, small one. You will be a welcome addition to eternity. A crude description. I consume your essence and merge your consciousness with my people. It is immortality. Will you join us? That is your choice. You must believe your will is your own. Thus do the living endure their finite existence. So, what say you? The only life the Drazir have found in eons. All that is left in this universe. To continue without would be a great loss. So, we will not do so. Your will is not greater than that of the universe, nor my own. You will join us, small one, no matter the form.
That's over.
Excellent and inevitable.
Yeah!
Turn back, traveler. My physical manifestation is more powerful than you realize. Your demise would be too immediate to provide sufficient data. Your fate is inescapable, but you are not yet prepared to meet it. Return when the time is right, traveler. Your request has been accepted. The convergence will commence at once. The end of your mortal coil.
we're doing this the hard way.
Wait! It won't work!
Anomaly. Step aside.
You did it. We're here. This is our one chance. If we stop the brute here, it's done. For good.
Corruption eradicated.
I can break the shield, but it'll take everything I've got. I'll be powerless. All right. Once we do this, there's no turning back. Either you win, or
Say it.
it's the end of everything.
Anomaly. Your chance of success is greater than 0. I was attempting to reassure you.
Yeah, thanks. Very comforting.
Come on, let's do this. You ready?
I got this.
You must hurry.
Hey! Traveler! Kick some ass for me.
tell me?
I had hoped it would not come to this.
Come to what? Hey! Come on. Hey! There's gotta be a way. What are we doing here if there isn't a goddamn way?
Only two outcomes for me. The corruption consumes us all. Or...
Keep! What's going on? Why isn't it staying dead?
The corruption is violent. Containment is no longer a viable option. The only outcome left is... annihilation. To eradicate the corruption, the system must be restored.
Okay, what the hell does that mean?
It means wiping everything. Starting over.
Starting over? I thought we were trying to stop that from happening.
We have no choice. The root will destroy everything. For all time.
This is... unexpected. I am... reluctant to execute.
No. Keep. There's... another way. Traveler! On me!
Clementine!
Hello everyone! I want to share a bit about my builds and explain why I chose certain builds for different bosses. All boss fights were recorded on the current patch. In my builds, I won't be using prisms, as they make it significantly easier to defeat bosses. In my opinion, if prisms are used, there should be a new higher difficulty level. The boss this time is the Nightweaver. I chose to defeat this boss using summons. The Summoner and Engineer archetypes work perfectly together for this. Both archetypes passively increase ability damage. The Summoner archetype allows you to temporarily boost the damage of your summoned creatures by attacking them. Additionally, using the relic can slightly increase the damage dealt by your summons. The amulet and rings are selected to increase summon damage. Traits are also chosen to increase summon health, mod charge speed, and mod duration. Weapon mods are chosen to summon 2 additional creatures. Unfortunately, no mutator can increase mod damage for summoned creatures, so the weapon mutators are selected to boost weapon damage and fire rate instead. This relic was chosen solely because its activation speed is faster than other relics. Fragments are selected to increase ability and mod damage. In this case, the damage dealt by summons. The boss this time is Magister Dullain. In this fight, the boss has the elemental resist affix. Despite this, I decided to defeat him using elemental damage, specifically shock damage. The boss's base shock resistance is -10. The elemental resist affix adds +25 to resistance against all types of elemental damage, bringing the total shock resistance to 15. For shock damage, I chose the Invoker and Archon archetypes. Their abilities, Way of Kaeula and Havoc Form, are perfect for this strategy. The amulet and rings were selected to increase damage of all types, ability damage and critical damage chance. Traits complement the build by increasing mod charge, speed, mod duration, and the ability area of effect. Both weapons, along with their mods and mutators, are selected to increase shock damage. The relic was chosen to convert health into grey health, which activates the amulet and ring effects. Fragments are selected to increase the critical damage chance of abilities and mods. The boss this time is Bloat King. I chose to defeat this boss by dealing damage to weak spots. The boss itself doesn't have any weak spots, but the orbs it releases become temporary weak spots, so once their armor is destroyed. These orbs move quickly, so I decided to focus on hitting the stationary boss instead. The Deceit rifle is perfect for this. Its weapon mod temporarily turns the boss's entire body into a weak spot. To maximize fast, high damage to weak spots, I selected the Hunter and Gunslinger archetypes. Their abilities, Hunter's Shroud and Bulletstorm, work perfectly for this strategy. The amulet and rings are chosen to increase all damage types, critical damage chance, and weak spot damage, and one ring is chosen to increase weapon charge speed. Traits complement the build by boosting mod charge, speed, ability duration, and the activation speed of abilities and mods. The Deceit rifle's mutator increases the charge speed of its shots, as this weapon requires charging before each shot. The relic was chosen to convert health into grey health. Fragments are selected to increase ranged critical chance, boost weak spot damage, and improve charge speed for charged shots. The boss this time is the Red Prince. You can see the boss's elemental resistances on the screen. Before the fight, I threw a bright stone onto the arena. When it explodes, it creates a fog that increases damage taken by enemies affected by it by 10%. Additionally, the corrosion status effect also increases damage taken by 10%. Together, these effects provide a 20% damage boost. I decided to defeat the boss using elemental damage, choosing the Invoker and Archon archetypes for the task. Invoker passively increases elemental damage, while Archon boosts mod damage. The Way of Kaeula ability deals shock elemental damage, while Chaos Gate temporarily increases all damage types. The amulet and rings are selected to boost all damage types, critical damage chance, and damage from abilities and mods. Weapon mods apply shock and acid damage, and mutators are chosen to increase mod damage, mod charge, speed, and fire rate. The relic is chosen to convert health into grey health. Traits complement the build by increasing mod charge speed, expanding ability and mod area of effect, and improving dodge window duration. Fragments focus on increasing mod critical chance, boosting mod damage, and extending mod duration. The boss this time is Gwendil, the Unburnt. I found this fight dull, so I decided to finish it quickly by using the monorail rifle. The boss initially has no weak spots, but if you knock off her helmet, her head becomes a weak spot for significant damage. For this build, I chose the Invader and Explorer archetypes. Invader passively increases damage and critical chance while moving or dodging. Its Wormhole ability boosts the next hit's damage by 300%. Explorer offers passive bonuses to damage and critical chance when using a relic, while Planeswalker increases movement speed. The amulet and rings focus on boosting all damage types, critical damage chance, and weak spot damage. One ring increases weapon charge speed. Traits enhance mod charge speed, mod and skill duration, and the activation speed of mods and skills. The Corrupted Rune pistol applies a death mark to enemies, increasing damage taken by 10%. The monorail rifle uses a mutator that speeds up its charged shot preparation. The relic converts health into grey health. Fragments focus on increasing critical chance in ranged combat, boosting weak spot damage, and speeding up firearm charge time. Boss, the Huntress, the melee weapon. Dark matter gauntlets can emit a deadly beam. In this build, I aim to maximize the power of that beam. For this, I chose the Handler and Challenger archetypes. Handler's passive abilities increase melee damage and critical chance. The Attack Dog skill temporarily boosts damage from all sources. Challenger passively increases melee damage and melee critical chance, while the Juggernaut skill significantly boosts melee damage. The beam's damage scales with melee damage, and unarmed damage also increases its effectiveness. The amulet and rings increase all damage types and critical chance. One ring boosts unarmed damage, while another triggers an explosion with every charged unarmed hit. The beam from the gauntlets counts as a charged unarmed attack, so the effect applies perfectly. The chosen traits complement the build by increasing mod and skill activation speed, extending mod and skill duration, expanding beam radius, amplitude, boosting item usage speed. I chose the Boar mod, which temporarily creates an additional weak spot. The beam's wide diameter makes hitting these weak spots much easier. The Gauntlet mod increases melee critical chance and critical damage, while grey health is present. The relic was selected to convert health into grey health. The fragments are focused on increasing melee critical chance, boosting melee damage, enhancing weak spot damage. Boss, Faelin. The boss has the elemental resist affix. Despite this, I decided to defeat him in melee combat, using elemental damage, going head to head with him. Archetypes, Invoker and Challenger. Invoker passively enhances elemental damage and provides 2 ability charges when set as the primary archetype. The ability Way of Kaeula temporarily deals shock damage in an area. Challenger passively increases melee damage and critical hit chance in melee combat. The ability Juggernaut significantly increases melee damage and grants 3 stacks of damage reduction. Amulet increases all types of damage by 20% against enemies affected by a status effect. Rings grants infinite stamina, increases melee speed and critical hit chance in melee combat, provides 4 to 5 stacks, increasing all types of damage, increases lifesteal rate. Traits enhance the build by increasing mod and ability activation, speed, mod and ability duration, armor and health, lifesteal, item duration. Secondary firearm deals acid damage and applies the corrosion status effect. Melee weapon Crystal Staff, the main weapon of this build. It deals shock damage and applies overload. Weapon Mutator, causes an explosion every second. Primary firearm, only using its mod, Ring of Spears. This mod deals melee damage per second within a close range. Increasing melee damage boosts the mod's damage. Weapon Mutator enhances mod damage. Relic, chosen to regenerate health faster. Fragments, increase melee attack speed, increase critical hit chance in melee combat, increase melee damage. Boss, Faerin. The fight against Faerin is almost identical to the fight against Faelin, so I decided to end it quickly. For this, I chose the monorail rifle. Archetypes, Hunter and Invader. Hunter passively increases ranged damage, weak spot damage, and critical hit chance at range. The ability Hunter's Shroud further boosts damage and crit chance. Invader passively increases damage and crit chance while moving and dodging. The ability Wormhole boosts damage by 300% for a single shot or melee hit. Amulet and Rings boost all damage types, critical hit chance, and weak spot damage. One ring increases weapon charge speed. Traits: Mod charge speed, mod and ability activation speed, mod duration. The monorail rifle is equipped with a mutator that increases the charge speed of its charged shot. Relic, chosen to convert health into grey health. Fragments, increase ranged crit chance, increase mod and ability activation speed, increase ranged weapon charge speed. Boss, Sunken Witch. The Sunken Witch has a -5 fire resistance, so I decided to burn her down, literally. For this, I chose the Archon and Ritualist archetypes to maximize fire damage and mod effectiveness. Archon passively boosts mod damage and mod crit chance. Ability Chaos Gate temporarily boosts all types of damage. Ritualist passively increases damage and crit chance against enemies with status effects. Ability Death Wish boosts all damage by 50% and grants a lifesteal. Amulet and Rings increase fire damage and burn effect damage, boost defense against fire. Increase all damage to burning enemies, make mods charge faster from elemental damage. Both ranged weapons have fire-based mods that inflict burn. Mutators increase mod damage and mod charge speed. Melee weapon applies overload and corrosion. Relic, chosen to regenerate health faster. This build allows me to stay mobile while being resistant to fire damage for an extended period, ensuring a powerful and sustained fire assault. Traits: increase mod charge, rate and duration. Expand skill and mod area of effect. Boost health and stamina. Reduce damage taken by self and allies. Extend item duration. Increase dodge window. Fragments boost mod crit chance. Increase mod damage. Speed up mod charge rate. Boss, Bruin, Blade of the King. Bruin prefers melee combat, so I decided to fight him up close as well. His elemental resistances are neutral, 0, making this a great opportunity to stack shock damage while staying protected. Archetypes: Invoker and Challenger. Invoker passively boosts elemental damage and crit chance for elemental attacks. Ability: Way of Kaeula deals shock AoE damage. Challenger passively boosts melee damage and melee crit chance. Ability Juggernaut significantly increases melee damage, grants 3 stacks of damage reduction, and reduces stagger level by 1. Amulet boosts damage and grants a lifesteal while shielded. Rings increases melee speed and melee crit chance, grants a shield when stamina is used, reduces stamina consumption, increases all damage. Traits: boost mod activation speed and duration, increase stamina, armor, health, and lifesteal, extend item duration. Secondary weapon deals acid damage and applies corrosion. Mutator also applies a similar status effect. Melee weapon, Harvester Scythe, main weapon in this build. Weapon mod boosts melee damage and speed. Mutator deals shock damage and applies overload. Primary weapon mod applies periodic melee damage per second. Mutator increases mod damage. Relic enhances lifesteal effectiveness. Fragments boost melee attack speed, increase mod and skill activation speed, enhance mod charge speed. Boss, the one true king. For this fight, I decided to defeat the boss using abilities and damage from negative effects. Archetypes: Invoker and Ritualist. Invoker passively boosts elemental damage and crit chance for elemental attacks. Ability Way of Lydusa deals explosive damage, temporarily increases crit chance and crit damage. Ritualist passively boosts damage and crit chance against enemies affected by negative effects. Ability Miasma applies 4 different negative effects on the enemy. Amulet and Rings effects applies the vulnerability status effect. Increases damage from negative effects. Extends the duration of negative effects. Boosts all damage output. Traits: increase mod and skill charge rate. Expands the area of effect for mods and abilities. Increase health and stamina. Extend item duration. All 3 weapons deal elemental damage and apply negative effects. Mods and mutators apply status effects. Increase mod charge speed. Relic boosts skill recovery speed. Fragments increase damage from negative effects. Boost skill damage. Improve mod and skill activation speed. Boss Labyrinth Sentinel. For this fight, speed is more important than raw damage. The boss forces constant movement, so mobility, mod activation speed, and mod recharge rate are key to success. The Sandstorm and Firestorm mods are perfect, as a single cast can destroy a cube instantly. Archetypes: Archon and Explorer. Archon used solely for faster mod regeneration. Active abilities are not very effective in this fight. Explorer used mainly for increased movement speed. Planeswalker ability is crucial, boosting movement speed. Amulet and Rings. Energy from a used mod transfers to an unused one. Increases movement speed. Speeds up mod recharge. Boosts stamina. Traits: boosts mod recharge speed. Extends ability duration. Increases area of effect of mods and abilities. Improves stamina, regen, and max stamina. Extends item duration. Improves dodge window, weapons, and mods. For consistent AoE damage, I've chosen these ranged weapon mods. Mutators further increase mod recharge speed. Relic speeds up mod regeneration. Fragments boosts mod recharge speed. Increase mod and ability activation speed. Extends ability duration. Boss Corruptor. For this fight, I focused on movement speed and mod damage. Instead of targeting the boss's assistant, I chose to attack the boss directly, since it moves very little. Meanwhile, high movement speed helps avoid its fast-moving helper. Archetypes: Archon and Explorer. Archon increases mod damage and mod crit chance. Primary Archon boosts mod recharge speed. Chaos Guide. Ability temporarily increases all damage types. Explorer increases overall damage and crit chance. Planeswalker. Ability boosts movement speed. Amulet and Rings increase all damage, boost movement speed, enhance stamina and stamina regeneration. Traits: faster mod recharge or longer duration for mods and abilities. Higher health, stamina, and stamina recovery speed. Extended item duration. Increased dodge window. Weapons and mods. Ranged mods deal explosive damage. Melee weapon applies 2 negative status effects. Mutators enhance mod damage and recharge speed. Relic speeds up mod recovery. Fragments boost mod crit chance. Increase mod damage. Enhance movement speed. Boss Kaeula's Shadow. For this fight, I decided to crush the boss with my army of summons. The goal was to maximize summoner damage while weakening the boss's defense. This setup allows summons to gain up to plus 250% bonus damage, but only for creatures summoned by summoner abilities. Archetypes: Summoner and Handler. Summoner increases damage and crit chance for mods, abilities, and explosions. Attacking summoned creatures temporarily boosts their damage and attack speed. Using a relic further increases summon damage. Handler boosts melee, ranged, and ability damage, as well as crit chance. Attack Dog. Ability increases all damage, sources for a short time. Amulet and Rings increase summon damage and movement speed. Boost overall damage. Increase crit chance against enemies affected by Exposed. Traits: faster mod recharge, longer ability duration, wider AoE for abilities and mods. Faster ability and mod activation. Higher summon health, increased stamina. Weapons and mods. Both ranged mods summon additional creatures. No mutator can directly increase summon damage, so mutators were chosen to speed up mod recharge. Melee weapon mod deals area of effect damage and applies exposed, 15% extra damage taken by the enemy. Melee weapon mutator deals explosive damage in melee combat. Relic speeds up ability recovery. Fragments increase ability crit chance, extend ability duration, boost ability damage. Boss Legion. Since Legion has negative 10 fire resistance, I chose to defeat it using mod damage and fire-based negative effects. Archetypes Ritualist and Archon. Ritualist boosts damage and crit chance against enemies with negative effects. Death Wish ability grants plus 50% total damage and lifesteal. Primary Ritualist further increases negative effect damage. Archon enhances mod damage and mod crit chance. Chaos Gate temporarily increases all damage types. Amulet and Rings increase fire damage and burning effect damage. Boost overall damage. Enhance negative effect damage. Increase damage against burning enemies. Traits Faster mod and ability recharge. Extended duration of abilities, mods and consumables. Increased AoE for abilities and mods. Higher stamina. Both ranged weapon mods deal fire damage and apply burning. Mutators speed up mod recharge and apply burning. Melee weapon applies 2 negative effects. Relic boosts lifesteal effectiveness. Fragments increase damage from negative effects. Boost mod crit chance. Extend ability duration. Boss Mother Mind. Since Mother Mind has clearly visible weak spots, I built this setup to maximize weak spot damage with long-range precision shots. Archetypes Hunter and Gunslinger. Hunter boosts ranged damage, weak spot damage and crit chance. Hitting weak spots extends active abilities. Hunter's focus increases ranged damage, weak spot damage and crit chance. Gunslinger enhances fire rate, reload speed and ranged damage. Bulletstorm boosts fire rate and reload speed for maximum burst DPS. Amulet and Rings boost overall damage. Crit hits restore ability cooldowns faster. Increase weak spot damage. Enhance fire rate. Traits faster mod and ability recharge. Longer mod and ability duration. Increased speed for abilities, mods and item use. Higher stamina and better dodge window. Secondary weapon mod applies. AoE slow to control enemies. Mutator accelerates mod recharge. Melee weapon applies 2 negative effects for extra damage. Primary weapon Plasma Cutter. Main DPS weapon. Weapon mod reduces heat buildup and increases damage. Mutator boosts crit chance and critical damage. Relic speeds up ability recovery. Fragments increase weak spot damage. Boost critical chance and ranged damage. Boss Shrewd. This boss has a significant weakness to fire with a minus 10 fire resistance. Therefore, I decided to focus on dealing damage through explosions and fire, specifically by utilizing weapon mods. Archetypes Archon and Summoner. Archon boosts mod damage and crit chance. Increases mod recharge speed when primary. Chaos Gate temporarily increases all damage types. Summoner boosts mod, skill and explosion damage. Increases crit chance for these damage types. Amulet and Rings boost explosion damage. Explosions also apply burning damage. Increase all damage. Extend the duration of negative effects. Elemental damage speeds up mod recharge. Boost critical chance and critical damage. Traits faster mod recharge. Longer duration for abilities, mods and items. Extended negative effect duration. Higher stamina and better dodge window. Both ranged weapon mods deal area of effect, explosion and fire damage. Mutators enhance mod damage and recharge speed. Melee weapon applies overload. Melee mutator deals explosion damage. Relic speeds up mod recharge. Fragments increase explosion damage. Boost mod damage and crit chance. Boss Corrupted Ravager. Since his entire red back is a weak spot, this build focuses on dealing massive weak spot damage with a bow. Archetypes: Hunter and Gunslinger. Hunter boosts weak spot damage, ranged damage, and crit chance. Hitting weak spots extends active abilities. Hunter's focus increases weak spot damage, range damage, and crit chance. Gunslinger boosts rate of fire, reload speed, and range damage. Bulletstorm further increases fire rate and reload speed. Amulet and Rings increase overall damage and crit chance. Boost weak spot damage. Speed up charged shot preparation. Extend the perfect shot window. Traits: faster skill and mod activation. Quicker mod and skill recharge. Longer duration for mods and consumables. Increased stamina and dodge window. Secondary weapon mod applies an AoE slow. Mutator, chance to return ammo on fire. The Crescent Moon Bow is the primary weapon in this build. The bow's mod allows you to replenish lost arrows and restore health. But most importantly, with a perfect shot, the bow fires 2 arrows. This doubles the damage with a single shot. A perfect shot is achieved when the player releases the bowstring at the precise moment. Mutator speeds up the charging of a charged shot. Relic speeds up skill recharge. Fragments increase weak spot damage, boost critical chance and ranged damage. Boss: the Stonewarden. This melee-focused build is designed to stun-lock the Stonewarden with explosions and tear it apart in close combat. Archetypes: Invoker and Challenger. Invoker boosts elemental ability and crit damage. Provides 2 ability charges. Way of Lydusa explodes on impact, dealing damage and applying brittle. Boosts crit chance and crit damage. Shockwave from Way of Lydusa stuns the boss, making it completely vulnerable. Challenger boosts melee damage and melee crit chance. Juggernaut significantly increases melee damage. Amulet and Rings increase all damage, boost critical chance and critical damage. Improve melee attack, speed, and melee crit chance. Traits and Fragments. All upgrades focus on melee combat. Weapons and mods. Secondary weapon mod. AoE acid damage plus corrosion debuff. Mutator speeds up mod recharge. Melee weapon, Harvester. Size mod increases melee damage and attack speed. Mutator deals explosive damage every second. Primary weapon mod. Applies DOT melee damage. Mutator boosts mod damage and speeds up mod recharge. Relic converts HP into grey health. Boss: Cinderclad Forge. This boss is like an impenetrable fortress. Therefore, for this fight, I chose heavy armor and melee combat. Archetypes: Invoker and Challenger. Invoker boosts elemental ability and crit damage. Way of Kaeula deals AoE shock damage. Challenger boosts melee damage and melee crit chance. Juggernaut greatly increases melee damage while reducing incoming damage and lowering stagger level. Amulet and Rings boost all damage while increasing resistance. Increase crit chance and crit damage. Improve melee, attack speed and melee crit chance. Boost crit chance against enemies affected by brittle. Traits and Fragments. All upgrades focus on melee combat. Secondary weapon deals acid damage and applies corrosion. Mutator speeds up mod recharge. Melee weapon mod AoE damage plus exposed status effect. Enemies take plus 15% more damage. Mutator deals shock damage and applies overload. Primary weapon mod AoE fire damage plus burn effect. Mutator increases mod charge rate. Relic boosts lifesteal effectiveness, allowing for better sustain in melee combat. Boss: Lydusa. Lydusa has shock resistance plus 10. Despite this, I decided to defeat her using shock-based abilities. For shock damage, the best archetypes are Invoker and Archon. Invoker passively increases elemental damage, skill damage, and critical chance. Grants 2 skill charges when primary. Skill Way of Kaeula deals AoE shock damage. Archon passively increases mod damage and mod critical chance. Skill Havoc Form deals shock damage over time. Amulet and rings increase all damage, increase critical chance and critical damage. Traits and fragments, focused on enhancing skill and mod damage. Weapons and mods, secondary weapon plus mod, deals acid damage and applies corrosion. Mutator, increase mod charge rate, melee weapon, applies 2 negative status effects. Primary weapon mod, temporarily summons a creature for additional damage. Mutator, increases weapon damage. Relic, converts health into grey half. Boss, Sha'Hala, Guardian of Nerud. I chose to defeat this boss using explosive damage from mods. For this strategy, I selected the Archon and Summoner archetypes. Archon passively increases mod damage and mod critical chance. Primary bonus, increases mod charge rate. Skill, Chaos Gate, temporarily boosts all damage types. The Summoner passively increases damage from mods, skills and explosions, as well as their critical hit chance. Active abilities will not be used. Amulet and rings, increase all damage, increase critical chance and critical damage. Traits, faster mod charge, narrate and quicker item usage, increased duration, for skills, items and debuffs, more stamina and dodge, window for survivability. Weapons and mods. Both ranged weapons have mods that deal explosive damage. Mutators boost mod damage and reduce mod cooldowns. Melee weapon applies 2 negative status effects. Relic speeds up healing and mod charge rate. These fragments increase explosive damage, mod damage and mod critical chance. Boss, Sha'Hala, Spectral Guardian of Nerud. I decided to defeat this boss using elemental damage and weak spot hits. For this, I selected the Invoker and Archon archetypes. Invoker passively increases skill damage, elemental damage, and their critical hit chance. Skill, Way of Kaeula, AoE shock damage. Primary bonus, doubles skill charges. Archon passively increases a mod damage and mod crit chance. Skill Chaos Gate, temporarily boosts all damage types. Amulet and rings boost all damage, increase crit chance and crit damage, enhance weak spot damage. Traits faster, mod charge rate and quicker item usage, longer duration for mods and items, more stamina and dodge window for survivability, increased AoE range for skills and mods. Weapons and mods. Secondary weapon mod creates a defensive barrier. Mutator speeds up mod recharge. Melee weapon mod deals area of effect damage. Mutator deals explosive damage. Primary weapon mod boosts fire rate and deals explosive damage. Mutator, chance to return ammo while firing. Relic, converts health into grey health. Fragments, increase mod, crit chance, boost weak spot damage, enhance fire rate. Boss, Abomination. I decided to defeat this boss using explosive mod damage. For this, I selected the Archon and Summoner archetypes. Archon passively increases mod damage and mod crit chance. Primary bonus, faster mod charge rate. Skill, Chaos Gate, temporarily boosts all damage types. Summoner passively increases mod, skill, and explosion damage, as well as crit chance for these types of damage. I will not use active abilities. Amulet and rings increase overall damage, boost crit chance and crit damage, enhance mod damage. Elemental damage speeds up mod charge rate. Traits, faster mod and skill charge rate, longer duration for skills and items, more stamina and dodge window for survivability. Weapons and mods. Secondary weapon mod deals fire damage. Mutator, increase mod damage and charge speed. Primary weapon mod deals explosive damage. Mutator, increase mod charge speed. Relic speeds up health regeneration. Fragments, boost explosion damage, increase mod damage, enhance mod crit chance. Boss, Primogenitor. I decided to defeat this boss using shock and explosive damage. For this, I selected the Invoker and Summoner archetypes. Invoker passively increases skill, elemental and crit damage. Skill, Way of Kaeula deals area of effect shock damage. Primary bonus, double skill charges. Summoner passively increases mod, skill, and explosion damage, as well as their crit chance. I will not use active abilities. Amulet and Rings boost explosion damage, and explosions apply burning. Increase overall damage, boost crit chance and crit damage. Enhance mod damage. Elemental damage speeds up mod charge rate. Traits: faster mod and skill charge rate and faster item usage. Increased AoE size for skills and mods. Extended skill and item duration. More stamina and dodge window. Reduced damage taken for self and allies. Weapons and mods. Both ranged weapons have explosive and fire damage mods. Mutators: increase mod damage, charge speed, and add explosion damage. Relic speeds up health regeneration. Fragments: boost explosion damage, increase mod damage, enhance a mod crit chance. Boss: the Custodian's Eye. I decided to defeat this boss quickly by targeting weak spots. The central eye is its primary weak point. To maximize weak spot damage, I selected the Hunter and Gunslinger archetypes. Hunter passively increases ranged damage, weak spot damage, and crit chance. Skill: Hunter's Focus. Further boosts ranged damage, weak spot damage, and crit chance. Gunslinger passively increases fire rate, ranged damage, and crit chance. Skill: Bulletstorm. Boosts fire rate and reload speed. Amulet and Rings increase all damage, boost crit chance and crit damage, enhance weak spot damage. Traits: faster mod charge rate, increased skill and mod usage speed, extended duration of debuffs, skills and items, increased weapon stability. Weapons and mods. Secondary weapon mod creates a protective barrier. Mutator speeds up mod charge rate. Melee weapon applies 2 negative status effects. Primary weapon mod reduces overheat and increases damage. Mutator boosts crit chance and crit damage. Relic converts health into grey health. Fragments increase weak spot damage, boost critical chance in ranged combat, improve fire rate. Boss: the Astropath. My strategy: swarm the boss. I'm going with Summoner and Engineer for this fight. Summoner passively increases mod, skill, and explosion damage, as well as the crit chance. Skill: Minion Flyer. Summons 2 flying minions to attack the boss. Engineer passively increases ranged and skill damage and boosts crit chance. Skill: Heavy Weapon, Vulcan. Deploys a turret that fires until it runs out of ammo. Amulet and Rings increase all damage. Boost crit chance against enemies affected by exposed. Increase skill damage on critical hits. Traits: faster mod charge rate and item usage speed. Increase skill and mod AoE range. More heals for summoned minions. Extended duration of debuffs and items. Reduce friendly fire damage. Weapons and mods. Secondary weapon mod deals area of effect fire damage. Mutator boosts mod damage and charge speed. Melee weapon mod deals AoE damage and applies exposed. Exposed increases damage taken by the target by 15% from all sources. Mutator explosive damage in melee combat. Primary weapon mod summons another minion. Mutator heals allies. Relic speeds up healing and mod recharge. Fragments boost skill and mod crit chance. Increases skill and mod activation speed. Boss: Tal'Ratha. I chose to defeat the boss with elemental damage. To achieve this, I selected the Archon and Invoker archetypes. Archon passively increases mod damage and crit chance. Skill: Chaos Gate temporarily boosts all types of damage. Faster mod charge rate when Archon is primary. Invoker passively increases skill damage, elemental damage, and crit chance. Skill: Way of Kaeula deals AoE shock damage. Amulet and Rings increase all damage, boost critical chance and critical damage. Elemental damage accelerates mod recharge speed. Traits: faster mod charge rate and increased duration. A larger AoE range for skills and mods. Extended duration of debuffs and items. More stamina and larger dodge window. Weapons and mods. Both ranged weapons deal elemental damage. Apply burn and overload. Both weapon mods deal elemental damage. Mutators increase mod recharge speed and boost fire rate. Melee weapon applies 2 negative effects. Relic converts health into grey health. Fragments. Boost mod damage and crit chance. Increase skill and mod activation speed. Boss. Tal'Ratha. Metaphysical. Strategy. Pure mod damage. Since the boss gains the elemental resist affix, I adapted my strategy to deal only mod-based damage, avoiding elemental damage entirely. To achieve this, I selected the Archon and Summoner archetypes. Archon passively increases mod damage and crit chance. Skill, Chaos Gate, temporarily boosts all types of damage. Faster mod charge rate when Archon is primary. Summoner passively increases mod damage, skill damage, explosions, and crit chance. Active ability was not used. Amulet and Rings increase mod and skill damage. Unused mod energy is redirected into the active mod. Boost all outgoing damage. Critical hits accelerate mod recharge speed. Traits, faster mod and skill charge rate, longer duration for debuffs, items and skills. Increased stamina and larger dodge window. Weapons and mods. Both ranged, weapon mods deal non-elemental damage. Mutators increase mod damage and recharge speed. Melee weapon applies 2 negative effects. Relic accelerates healing and mod recharge speed. Fragments increase mod damage and crit chance. Boost mod recharge speed. Bosses: Amalgam Kel'Roth and Amalgam Relics. Strategy: Elemental Kung Fu Domination. Since the Amalgam brothers have a negative 10 shock and negative 10 acid resistance, I decided to crush them with Elemental Kung Fu and test whose martial arts are stronger, theirs or mine. To execute this, I selected the Invoker and Challenger archetypes. Invoker passively increases skill damage, elemental damage, and crit chance. Skill: Way of Kaeula deals AoE shock damage, doubles skill charges when Invoker is primary. Challenger passively increases melee damage and melee crit chance. Skill: Juggernaut greatly boosts melee damage, grants 3 stacks of damage reduction, and lowers stagger level by 1. Amulet and Rings increase all damage. Taking damage increases damage resistance. Boost critical chance and critical damage. Increase melee speed. Provide 1 additional stack of damage reduction. Traits: increased health, armor, and stamina. Extended duration for debuffs and consumables. Faster mod charge rate in melee combat and lifesteal boost. Increased skill and mod activation speed. Weapons and mods. Secondary firearm deals acid damage and applies corrosion. Mutator speeds up mod recharge. Melee weapon mod boosts melee attack, damage and speed. Mutator inflicts shock damage and applies overload. Primary firearm mod deals damage every second in melee combat. Mutator increases mod damage and recharge speed. Relic enhances lifesteal efficiency. Fragments increase crit chance and melee speed. Boost skill and mod activation speed. Boss: Nerudian Reaper. You can see the boss's elemental weaknesses on the screen. That's why I'm using a shock and acid elemental damage build. For this, I selected the Invoker and Archon archetypes. Invoker passively increases skill damage, elemental damage, and the critical hit chance. Skill: Way of Kaeula deals AoE shock damage. Doubles skill charges when Invoker is primary. Archon passively increases mod damage and mod crit chance. Skill: Havoc Form deals elemental shock damage. Amulet and Rings increase all damage, boost critical chance and critical damage. Traits: faster mod and skill charge rate. Extended duration for mods, negative effects, and consumables. Increased AoE range for skills and mods. Enhanced stamina and dodge window. Weapons and mods. Secondary firearm and mod deals acid damage and applies corrosion. Mutator boosts mod damage and charge speed. Melee weapon applies 2 negative effects. Primary firearm mod deals acid damage and applies corrosion. Mutator applies additional corrosion stacks. Relic converts health into grey health. Fragments increase skill damage and skill crit chance. Boost critical damage. Boss: Alepsis-Taura. Mods non-stop, fast recharge and damage. That's my choice for this fight. To achieve this, I selected the Archon and Summoner archetypes. Archon passively increases mod damage and mod crit chance. Skill: Chaos Gate temporarily boosts all damage. faster mod charge rate when Archon is primary. Summoner passively boosts mod damage, skill damage, explosive damage, and mod crit chance. Did not use active summoner abilities. Amulet and Rings boost mod and skill damage, redirects energy from used mods to uncharged mods, increases overall damage. Critical hits speed up mod recharge, increases weak spot damage. Traits: increased mod charge rate and item use speed, extended duration for negative effects, consumables and abilities, boosted stamina and dodge window. Weapons and mods: both firearms mods deal pure, non-elemental damage. Mutators boost mod damage and mod charge speed. Melee weapon applies 2 negative effects. Relic accelerates healing and mod recharge. Fragments boost mod damage and mod crit chance, increase weak spot damage. Boss Cancer. Boss Cancer is extremely vulnerable to fire, with a resistance of -10. Therefore my strategy is burn it to ash. I will exploit his slowness by constantly staying behind him and unleashing the full power of fire damage. For this, I chose the Ritualist and Archon archetypes. The Ritualist passively boosts damage and crit chance against enemies with negative effects. Skill, Death, Wish increases all damage by 50% and grants a lifesteal. When Ritualist is primary, negative effects deal increased damage. Archon passively increases mod damage and mod crit chance. Skill, Chaos Gate temporarily enhances all damage. Amulet and Rings boost fire damage and burn effect. Increase all damage against burning enemies. Increase fire resistance. Elemental damage speeds up mod charge rate. Traits: faster mod charge and item use speed. Extended duration for debuffs, consumables, and abilities. Increased stamina, dodge window, and lifesteal. Reduced friendly fire damage. Weapons and mods: both firearms and their mods deal fire damage and inflict burn. Mutators increase damage and apply extra negative effects. Melee weapon inflicts burn. Mutator enhances negative effects and reduces enemy resistance to elemental effects. Relic boosts lifesteal effectiveness. Fragments increased mod, crit chance, and damage from negative effects. Extended skill duration. Boss Venom. Venom's armored body greatly reduces standard weapon damage, with only the chest taking full damage. To bypass this, I relied entirely on elemental damage, which ignores armor penalties. So, for this, I chose the Invoker and Archon archetypes. Invoker passively increases skill damage, elemental damage, and their crit chance. Skill Way of Kaeula deals AoE shock damage. Primary Invoker bonus doubles skill charges. Archon passively increases mod damage and mod crit chance. Skill Havoc Form deals elemental shock damage. Amulet and Rings increase overall damage, boost crit chance and crit damage. Traits: faster mod charge rate, extended duration for mods, debuffs, and consumables. Increased AoE size for skills and mods. Higher stamina and dodge window. Weapons and mods: secondary weapon mod deals fire damage and inflicts burn. Mutator crit hits apply corrosion. Melee weapon applies 2 debuffs. Primary weapon mod summons an ally. Mutator speeds up mod charge rate. Relic converts HP into grey health. Fragments increase skill, crit chance, extended mod duration, extended negative effects. Final boss, Annihilation. To defeat Annihilation, I focused on the skill spam mechanic. Key elements of the build: maximum skill charges and minimal skill cooldown. The Invoker and Gunslinger archetypes are the ideal choice for this strategy. Invoker passively increases skill damage, elemental damage, and their crit chance. Skill Way of Kaeula deals AoE shock damage. Primary Invoker bonus doubles skill charges. Gunslinger boosts fire rate, range damage, and crit chance. Skill Quick Draw allows you to quickly fire a series of shots or a single powerful aim shot that is guaranteed to deal critical damage. Amulet and Rings boost overall damage, increase crit chance and crit damage. Critical hits accelerate skill, cooldown recovery. Elemental damage speeds up mod recharge. Traits: increased mod and skill recovery speed, extended duration for mods, skills, and consumables. Faster activation for mods, skills, and items. Larger AoE for skills and mods. higher stamina and improved dodge window. Weapons and mods. Both ranged weapons and their mods deal shock damage and apply the overload debuff. Mutators increase skill recovery speed, mod charge rate and fire rate. Relic accelerates skill recovery. Fragments increases crit chance for mods and skills. Boosts weak spot damage. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching until the end. If you liked it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any new videos. See you in the next videos.